Hello everyone, Counterspell here, back with another EDH guide. Before we get into the video, I'd like to say, just please use my link in the description. Uh, it will lead you to this website, Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer, where you can help them fight childhood cancer one cup at a time. There'll be more information on things such as getting involved, ways to give, and of course, donations, about ALSF, childhood cancer itself, where the money goes, special events, and more information that will all be waiting for you once you use my link I will have in the description. So by all means, please help out. Other than that, please comment on this video, show your support. It means something to me. Shows that you care. Oh, and as you're commenting, you can make an EDH request. Just make sure the content you're requesting has not already been featured on this channel. For example, the Red Terror Goblins. I have filled that slot. However, the Red Terror Dragons and the Red Terror Instants and Sorceries or enchantments or whatever that I have not covered, those slots are obviously open. So you can make those requests. Just let me know. You can also make you can also make requests for standard decks, deck techs. I have a few prepared, or you can make a request for MTG Arena content, more MTG Arena content. But just so you know, first come, first serve. So get to the comment section and also show your support, even if you don't want to make a request. Like and subscribe. And I also ask that you stay subscribed, you know, because you can. Hit the notification bell, that way you don't miss another one of my videos. And share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people so they can not only receive guidance from yours truly, but also so they can help Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation for Childhood Cancer fight against childhood cancer and even find a cure, quite possibly, because that will make a difference in the world. Trust me. I think with that said, that's everything out of the way. Let's get into this video. So we're going back to Dominaria United with Meria, scholar of Antiquity. So this is a red-green deck that is all about using our artifacts to produce mana. Not only that, but also to dig into our library for maybe answers or more cards. So the way I would plan on playing this deck is with artifact creatures, because even though it does say non-token, it doesn't say non-creature. So of course I'm going to play creature. So without further ado, let's get into it. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is Mycosynth Golem, because it gives your artifact creature spells infinity for artifacts, meaning that they cost one generic less to cast for each artifact we control. We have Arcbound Reclaimer to get artifacts back from our graveyard. Colossus of Akaros, because the mana we produce from Meria does not have to be spent on just spells. It can be spent any way we want it. And yes, that includes activating abilities of permanents we control, such as Monstrosity 10 on Colossus of Akaros. You're turning it into a 2020 with Indestructible and Trample. Stonecoil Serpent. We have a lot of untapped artifact creatures that are just doing us no good. We can tap them all using our commander and just play a really big Stonecoil Serpent. It can be a great blocker and also a great attacker because of trample and not to mention protection from multicolored. Traxos, Scourge of Krog. It doesn't, it enters battles with tap and doesn't untap during our untap step. However, when we cast a historic spell, and one thing that would be considered a historic spell is, of course, artifacts, among also legendaries and sagas. So as we cast artifacts, we're able to untap Traxos here, so we can use him multiple times. Thanks to our commander to produce more and more mana to cast more and more artifacts and spells within a turn than what we would normally be able to. Shambling Suit, it's going to get bigger and bigger as we play more artifacts. Metalwork Colossus can get itself back from our graveyard if we sacrifice 2 artifacts. Metalworker can give us a bunch of mana. Paradox Engine, whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control. I don't think I need to say much else. Foundry Inspector to make all of our artifacts cost 1 less to cast. Hangerback Walker, we can bump a bunch of mana into this thing, make it like a 20/20 or something. And then when it dies, it'll create us a bunch of tokens, hopefully. Shimmer Mirror allows us to cast our artifact cards as though they had flash. Darksteel Forge for indestructible, give our artifacts a lot of protection. Staff of Domination. Something funny, kind of funny we can do is that we can literally tap this for green using our commander, and then for 1 we just untap it. I know there's something that could turn that into quite possibly an infinite combo. It is an infinite combo itself. It's just the only thing you're doing is infinitely tapping and untapping Staff of Domination. I know there's a card that probably in the future that will make use of us tapping artifacts, like whenever a permanent becomes tapped. But we can also use this to just untap creatures we control. And draw cards and tap other creatures and also gain life. And then there's Planar Bridge. Plenum Imperion. Our life total just cannot change. Cogwork Assembler, using the mana produced from artifacts we control, thanks to our commander, we can start creating a bunch of tokens that are copies of target artifacts. Mashira's Self-Replicator can create a bunch of tokens that are copies of itself within a turn. Even though, unfortunately, those tokens can't tap, the original one can. Not to mention, we probably have like a bunch of other creatures that we'll have on our board. And if we have Mycosynth Golem, our artifacts creature spells are going to be cheaper and cheaper as we create more and more tokens that are copies of Mashira's Self-Replicator. Chromatic Aura, we can now use mana as though mana of any color. Mirror Works, we're able to create tokens that are copies of artifacts we control whenever the non-token variant enters the battlefield. And we're able to, and all we have to do is just pay 2 generic. Lithoform Engine can copy target activated or triggered ability, copy an instant or sorcery, or copy a permanent spell itself. I don't think I need to say much more. Minion Reflector can copy our artifact creatures. Genesis Chamber is nice because what we can do is with this, we can, have it untapped throughout our turn, and then at the end of the turn, after we're done like playing a bunch of creatures, we can just tap it for mana using our commander, and then no one else will get 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature tokens out of our Genesis Chamber because it will be tapped. Mirror Matrix, it's indestructible. All mirror get +1/+1, and it can put mirror tokens into play. Mycosynth Lattice. This is actually a pretty big one. All permanents are artifacts in addition to their types. All cards that aren't in play, spells and permanents, are colorless. Players may spend mana as though it mana of any color. What this allows us to do is is also use our lands as artifacts for our commander's second ability to exile the top card of our library and be able to play that card on that turn that we exile it from the top. Darksteel Juggernaut. It's going to get bigger and bigger as we play more artifacts, and it's indestructible. Strionic Resonator can copy just target triggered ability we control. Howling Mine can draw us cards, and like I said, same thing with Genesis Chamber. Once we've drawn the card from it, we just can use it for green. And then when it comes to everyone else, they don't get to draw that extra card because Howling Mine will be tapped, of course. Rings of Bright Earth. Whenever we activate an ability, if it's not a mana ability, we can pay 2 generic and copy that ability and choose new targets for the copy. Doubling Cube for more mana. Kuldotha Forge Master. We can sacrifice artifacts to get another artifact. So we can sacrifice 3 little 1/1 mirror tokens to get Planar Bridge. Yeah. Then we got Scrap Trawler to just get all of our artifacts back for the most part. Whenever one artifact we control is put into the graveyard, another comes back. And then we have Birthing Pod. Because fun. Pretty sure that's what it is. Not to mention we can tap our artifacts and then we can tap them for green so we don't have to pay the 2 life because of our commander, of course. Mystic Forge allows us to look at the top card of our library at any time and cast artifact spells and color spells from the top of our library. And then we can tap this to pay 1 life, exile the top card of our library. Or with our commander, we can tap this for green. I don't think I need to say much more. The Immortal Sun makes all of our spells cheaper, gives our creatures +1/+1, stops all players from activating Planeswalker's loyalty abilities, and at the beginning of our turn step, we draw an additional card. Does not need much more explanation than that. Ingenuity Engine. We can sacrifice artifacts to return target artifact we control to its owner's hand, so we turn this one. Then we cast it, and then Cascade goes off. Jor's Familiar. Makes our historic spells cost 1 generic less to cast, so that's artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. Aetherflux Reservoir can be used to just kill someone and also add mana in this deck. Hammer's Archive goes along with this very well. Not only allows us to draw cards, but also because it doubles up on our life gain. Urgi, God of Storytelling. As we cast spells, we add red mana. Our creatures can also boast twice during each of our turns rather than once, but we're not doing that here. Then there's the other side, Hornfell, Horn of Bounty. You can discard a card to exile the top 2 cards of our library, and then we may play those cards this turn. Then we have Silverback Elder, which whenever we cast a creature spell, we choose 1 to destroy target artifact or enchantment. So we've got some interaction. We gain 4 life, or look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this is going to help us ramp, and with Infinity for artifacts from Microsynth Golem on our artifact creature spells that we cast, we're going to be able to trigger off Silverback Elder a lot of times. Now we've got a great synergy for this deck. Faldorn Dread Wolf Herald, which says whenever we cast a spell from exile or a land enters the battlefield under our control from exile, we create a 2/2 token. And then this allows us to also discard a card to exile the top card of our library, and we can play that card this turn. But we're already doing that with our commander, except better because we can exile multiple cards off the top of our library within a turn with our commander, whereas this here can only exile 1 with its activated ability. But still, giving us tokens as we're playing stuff from exile because of our commander, pretty good. And we got Wild Magic Sorcerer for that side. So this is now we're getting more into kind of second line of text, but still focused around the first line of text. Wild Magic Sorcerer. First spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. Don't think I need to say much else. Pretty awesome. Scare Tiller. When it becomes tapped, We can put a land card from our hand or from our graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Quest for renewal gets quest counters as we tap our creatures, and then as long as 4 or more quest counters, we untap all creatures we control during each other player's untap step, so we can do a bunch of stuff. Forsaken Monument, colorless creatures we control get +2/+2. Whenever we tap a permanent for colorless mana, we add an additional colorless mana, and whenever we cast a colorless spell, we gain 2 life. I don't think it needs to say much more. Ghost Arc. When it becomes crude, each artifact creature card in our graveyard gains Unearth of 3 until end of turn, which is pretty broken. Battered Golem doesn't untap during our untap step, but whenever an artifact comes into play, we can untap Battered Golem. So as we play artifacts, we'll be able to untap Battered Golem. Same thing with Grinding Station. Sure, we can mill, but we want to, well, honestly, just want to have that mana. And if we have both of these out at the same time, so what we can do, if our stuff is cheap enough by Mycosynth Golem and our other cost reduction cards, is with these two, we would tap both of them with our commander, exile a top card of our library, and if that was an artifact creature, and we had a bunch of artifact creatures out on our battlefield, with Mycosynth Golem here, it'd most likely be free. So what we just do is we play that, and then Battered Golem and Grinding Station would untap. Pretty cool combo. Not infinite, but still janky. Then we've got Treasure Vault, Power Depot, very well, hold on. No. So as our non-artifact lands, we've got Buried Ruin to return target artifact card from our graveyard to our hand. And we've got Inventor's Fair for life gain and to search for an artifact card. And then we've got Treasure Vault, Power Depot, Slagwood's Bridge, Great Furnace, and Tree of Tales, and then Darksteel Citadel. All because they are artifact lands, which means instead of tapping for mana, we can tap them using our commander to exile the top card of our library. Anyways, and then we've got 21 basic forest cards and 21 basic mountain cards. And with that, the end of this EDH guide starring Meria, Scholar of Antiquity. All right. Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe. Help ALSF fight childhood cancer 1 cup at a time by using my link in the description. Share this video along with other videos found on my channel with other people so they can receive guidance on building these sorts of decks that they've been wanting to build for a long time, from yours truly, of course. And so they can also follow that link I will have in the description, and I've had in the description of videos that I've been posting here as of recently. So it can also help fight against childhood cancer 1 cup at a time. Get to the comments section if you want to make your request and you want it to be the first to be featured on this channel. Like I said, for example, the Red Terror Goblins, that is a slot that is already filled. That is content that is already covered on this channel. However, content that is not covered on this channel is something like the Red Terror Dragons, the Red Terror Instants and Sorceries, or like the Red Terror Enchantments. Those things have not been covered. So you can make those requests for those decks. Oh, and you can also make requests for like standard decks I have. I already have some prepared. If you want to be specific, just let me know. Just type in the comments. Excuse me. You can also make requests for more MTG Arena content. And even if you don't want to, that's fine. I'd also prefer you just comment anyways, and with some positive feedback on my video. Shows me you care, shows your support, shows you're a true magician of, after all, in Magic Gathering manners. The notification bell that bell. That way you don't miss another one of my videos. Excuse me, I cannot talk today. Oh yeah, for requests, first come, first serve. So get to the comments, my friends. Subscribe, stay subscribed. That's all I ask. I think that's it. I'll see you Monday. Goodbye.